Welcome back to Geek Therapy Radio. I am your mental curator, Johnny Hamburger. Make sure you're subscribed to the Geek Therapy Radio podcast on all available podcast apps. Just search for Geek Therapy Radio with Johnny Hamburger and you'll be all set. And help me to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube as I make my march in 2019 to 1,000 subscribers. Just search for Geek Therapy Radio on YouTube and just consider subscribing. I would appreciate it because I know you don't have to subscribe, so I appreciate the consideration. Let's dive right into Alexa and privacy concerns. You may have heard a few stories circling around even recently in the past few years, at least since Alexa's been around and Google Home has been around. But let's stay on topic of Alexa. One story you may have heard is that Alexa recorded a private conversation and then sent that private conversation to a random person. That's clickbait. I hate to use the term, but that is fake news. The real story is that yes, Alexa did record a private conversation, but she did not send it to a random person. She sent it to somebody in that user's contact list, aka it's somebody that you know, or at least you're an acquaintance of. You can't have anybody in your Amazon Alexa contact list that you haven't put there yourself on purpose. So, Alexa recorded a private conversation and accidentally sent that conversation as a message to somebody in that user's contact list. So here's what really happened. Voice recognition technology is not perfect. And in this case, when there's a lot of chatter going on, Alexa thought she heard the trigger word, Alexa, send a message to so-and-so. That's what she thought she heard. So in that scenario, Alexa turned on, started recording, and then towards the end of it, she said, do you want to send the message to whoever? And if she thought she heard yes in the random conversations going back and forth, yeah, she sent that private conversation on accident to somebody in their contact list. Not a random person, not the CIA, not the FBI, not the police, somebody that this user knew. Chalk that up to a glitch. Voice recognition isn't perfect, but it's getting better and better. Yes, that is cause for a little bit of concern. If Alexa mishears you and thinks that she wants you to send a message to somebody, yeah, that's a little bit scary, but that's not any malicious intent. That's not Amazon listening to you secretly and then sending your stuff off secretly to some unknown person. That's not what happened in this case. So there's that case, relatively debunked. Should you be a little bit worried? Should you be conscious if you have an Alexa device in your house? Yeah, you should. Be conscious of what you're saying. But you're bringing that into your house voluntarily. You know what you're buying. And as long as you know what you're buying, as long as you know what you put in your house, there should be no problem with it. Don't buy it and then get freaked out that she's listening all the time. You bought it. You're putting it in your house. You should know all these things or else don't do it. You are free not to give Amazon $30 to get an Alexa. If you have a problem with it, don't buy her. The second thing you may have read is that Amazon is entering into a $600 million contract with the CIA. Central Intelligence Agency. Did you know they're also in talks with a $10 billion project with the FBI? FBI, CIA, Amazon, listening, microphones, always listening. That's scary. That really gets the tinfoil crinkling. What is happening here in this particular Amazon CIA case is that the CIA is paying Amazon $600 million for access to Amazon's cloud infrastructure and resources. It may come as no surprise, or may be surprise to some of you, that private businesses like Amazon and General Electric and all sorts of other companies do enter into contracts with things like agencies like the military or government agencies or outside agencies, whatever. They don't make all their money from selling you dish soap. They enter into other different enterprises with various agencies. So in the CIA's case, they could either spend billions of dollars building their own cloud, or they can simply pay Amazon, who's already built it, to use their cloud for what they want to do. And what the CIA wants to do, according to all the information out there, isn't to listen into your private conversations, because, to be completely honest, you're not that interesting. I'm not that interesting. The CIA is trying to use Amazon's cloud resources to conduct big data and artificial intelligence open source experiments. Not to spy on you, but to conduct private experiments, open source experiments using big data and artificial intelligence and whatever. It's not to spy on you. It's basically to use Amazon's hardware that already exists and it's already built, so the CIA doesn't have to invest that capital into building this stuff. Just to use what already exists with Amazon. Amazon says, yeah, you can use it for your open source experiments. Sure. It's not to spy on you. Next case, you've heard of there's murder cases, and the local law enforcement tries to subpoena Amazon to give up whatever information is on the Alexa if she heard anything near to or around the time of these murders in these homes. It sounds okay enough. It's not illegal to subpoena for such information, but Amazon stops them in their tracks. No, countersuit. We're not giving that up. Why is this? Why would Amazon go to bat like this? Why would they try to protect individual users' privacy like that? One, it's in the contract that you agree to when you purchase an Alexa that Amazon cannot use your personal information or any data collected to give to outside sources to use against you for any sort of reason. It's in the contract. Your privacy is protected by the First Amendment in Amazon's own contract. So Amazon refusing to give up any information that may or may not be recorded on their servers in their cloud is protecting your First Amendment right. Just like you can't search through in the old days, can't search through library what you checked out at a library. That's free speech. That you can't use stuff like that to incriminate somebody. That's protecting your First Amendment rights. Amazon in these cases is protecting your First Amendment rights from the government trying to impede on them and try to infringe and invade your First Amendment rights. Amazon is trying to set the precedent that if we allow a private law enforcement agency to access whatever is on a private user's Alexa, that sets the precedent. That opens the floodgates. We cannot allow governments to pry into private users' data like that. That's Amazon going to bat for you in that case. I am not absolving Amazon of any sins. I'm just saying that's what's happening because the First Amendment still exists and it protects you. The First Amendment protects you, the American citizen. As long as the First Amendment still exists, there's really not much to worry about in that aspect. If they try to amend the First Amendment or get rid of it, boy howdy, then we really got something to be scared of. And let me just say this. If you are worried about Amazon Alexa listening to you all the time, I have some disturbing news for you. You've had a device in your pocket for decades now that has microphones on it and is always connected to a network and can triangulate your exact position. If the government wanted you gone, you'd be gone by now. I don't care how many guns you have in your house. The government wants you gone, you're vaporized before you pick up your beer. That's just the truth. You've had something listening to you, if it is listening to you, in your pocket for decades. That's not even talking about your computers, your tablets. There's coffee makers that hear your voice. There's all sorts of devices with microphones in them all around you. All the time. That has existed. So this idea that Alexa is this new thing coming along to make you worry about your privacy even more, it's not. They've already been listening. If that's your concern, they've already been listening and they've determined you're boring and there's nothing to really search for here, really. So really, it all boils down to what you're comfortable with. If you have a problem with microphones being in your house, don't buy an Alexa, okay? If you know what you're getting into, then you'll be okay. Here's the final thing that basically destroys most of these conspiracy theories that Amazon is out to get you, Alexa's out to get you, that they're in bed with the CIA and the government, and they're all coming to get you, to throw you in the gulags and concentration camps and send the thought police on you and take you away and put you in prison. Here's why that all falls apart. Here's the bombshell. If Amazon helps put you in prison, you can't spend money with Amazon. Did you catch that? You are the cash cow for these big corporations. They need you working and free to go to and from work to earn money to give the money to them. There's no incentive for Amazon to get in bed with the CIA to put you in jail or lock you up or do whatever. They need you free to spend their money with them. So if they are listening to you and you see ads pop up for dog food, it's just because they want you to buy dog food from them. It's not to incriminate you. It's not to put you in jail. It's just to try to sell you stuff. And you need to be free to go about your day and go to your job every day so that you can earn money to then in turn give that money to Amazon. There's no incentive for them to do anything that infringes upon your freedom to give them money. It is all designed to try and get you to spend money with them. That's it. That's the most elegant explanation, and usually the most elegant, simple explanation is the true one. Not in every single case, but usually the most elegant explanation is the correct one. That's what I think is happening. They're just trying to get your money. More Geek Therapy Radio coming up, and you don't have to spend your money with them. After this, don't go anywhere.